Hey guys, hello and welcome to the new episode of Codement. So in today's episode, basically we are going to see how we can create the news application in Angular. So that is through an open source API. And as you can see, this is our existing application where I've added this news app. And once you navigate to it, you will get the news uh, whichever coming from the API, and this is through the response which I got from the response object. So as you can see here, this is my object, and the other data is added. Okay, so this is for weather, but for this particular API, as you can see, yeah, so it is taken from this source. And if you want to check the API response, you just have to refresh the page, and once the page is refreshed, it will console that yeah, this is the response object, and I'll get all the data, and these are the news and images of that particular API. So all these things are coming from this news API which I'm currently using, and which is a Google News API. So let's see one by one how I've integrated it in our application. So cool. So first thing first, which you have to consider is you have to create a component, and which would be newsfeed. And if you're creating a new application, so that is also fine. Like you can create a new application with ng-new, and the name of your application would be news app. So once you enter this, so it will start the new application, or else you can create a new component which is ng generate component. This is short form, and news feed app. So basically this is the name of the component. So once I enter it, so it will create 4 files. It will create a new component, and these are the 4 files in that component. So if you closely look at the component level, so this is my component, and I've taken the instance of newsfeed service, and so latest news is the kind of variable which is of type observable, and that can hold data of any data type. So ng-on-init, inside ng-on-init, this function is getting called, and here actually I have not subscribed to the observable. So as you can see, I have called it asynchronously from the HTML. So this is how we can trigger the API without subscribing it at the component level. So you have to just use async keyword with this pipe async operator, and so this is for ng for loop, and this is how it is iterating over it. And as you can see, this is very simple code of our application. So for the front end, basically I'm using Bootstrap 5 components. So what do we see here? So this is a list of all the news which are coming from that API, and for this this is how whatever you see here, this is Bootstrap 5 component. So if you just search for Bootstrap 5 snippets, you will if this is the first link on which you can get the multiple components which are readily available, and here you can just copy it, and from here, once you copy it, you just have to paste it, and through the ng for loop it will get iterated. So cool. So after this, inside the service, basically I have defined it as a behavior subject. So this is an instance of behavior subject. So regarding behavior subject, basically it's a kind of observable. So whatever the response that you get from this API, Yeah, so here you can check the response. So this response can be assigned to this subject observable, or the instance of this subject observable. Sorry, this is a kind of behavior subject, but the instance is defined as subject. So after that, this is a get the latest news function, and inside this, so calling the API and also passing the headers to it. So headers will have params, and so these are the two important keys. Like you should have the key and host name. So for that, you just have to go to Rapid API, and then you just have to sign up. So like the way I have signed up, and once you subscribe to this, it is like it's having some limit of 10 requests per month, because this is Google News API. But if you search for other news APIs which are providing some free data, so they can offer quite good amount of requests per month, and these are the APIs. Like for news, basically you can, yeah, so this is routers business. So you just have to follow the documentation, and if you just, yeah, so if you just check the details, so it is providing 30 requests per month. So just make sure whichever API you are using, so it should have maximum limit. And once you just subscribe it, so you just have to pass it to that subject instance through this next method. So whatever the response I'm getting, so I'm assigning it to the subject observable. So now second thing is here we have to just convert this subject into an observable, because we just have to call this as observable method, because in observable, basically there are a lot of types of observables are available, and so if you just want to use it as an observable, so this is the method which you have to call on the subject instance. And once you just bind it on the template level, so you just don't need to subscribe it inside the component. So yeah, so this is the response that we are getting. And images, this is the image property, and rest of the things are mentioned as and when it is required. Cool. So this is the list of news which I'm getting in that API, so it might get changed every time. So if you want to check the more details, so this is the response. Cool. So hope this is quite useful. So it's very simple and it's very useful as a beginner level. You can give it a try, and the source code is mentioned in the description. So as you can see here, this is what my repo, and as of now I'm adding it inside this Angular World application. So inside Angular World application, as of now, like I'm trying to add a lot of other features as well. So if you want to check it, so it is already hosted. So here on the news app, you will able to get the latest code as well. So inside this, you can check the other components which are readily available. Cool. So as and when I'm trying to update it, so if you're checking it after a few days, so like a lot of other components will also be added here. So yeah, so this is it. I think news app is quite useful, and also you'll you will be able to understand the other APIs as well. So you just have to read the documentation, and you have to just integrate it in your service file, and also you just have to pass on the session key and everything. So it's very useful, and you will get to know more about the subject observables as well. And the other conventional way is calling it through HTTP API, and that is subscribing it inside the component level. So I just have subscribed it inside service. So that is another approach. Alright, so that's it for today. If you just like this video, so please consider hitting the like button as well as subscribing to our YouTube channel. And that is, like, if you just do it, so I'll get enough motivation to create more content like this. Thank you so much, guys, and keep learning.